One Caste, One Religion, One God for Mankind by Sri Narayana Guru Devan. Sri Narayana Guru College, a co-educational institute located in Coimbatore on the Palakkad Road near Ettimadai at the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu state. This is a leading educational and research institute affiliated to Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore. It offers several UG and PG courses under the discipline of arts, science and social studies. It also offers MPhil and PhD programs in several courses. The institute started its educational service to the society in 1994 and completed its silver jubilee year and progressing its 26th year of academic excellence. The institution is run by Sri Narayana Guru Educational Trust SNGET located at Sai Baba Colony, Coimbatore. The management office bearers are Sri N. Prabhakaran, Chairman, Sri P.M. Vasu, Secretary, Srimati Sailaja Venu, Vice Chairperson, Srimati Vijina Premnath, Joint Secretary, Sri P.A. Rajkumar, Treasurer.
Dr. M. Ilangovan, the Principal, Sri Narayana Guru College, Coimbatore. He is the guiding star for us. He was the former HOD of the Department of Biochemistry. He encourages, supports and guides us on all our endeavors.
The department offers BSc Biochemistry, MSc Biochemistry, MPhil Biochemistry and PhD Biochemistry. Along with that, the department takes value-added courses, that is VAC, like nanobiotechnology, food and nutrition, clinical lab technology, computer-aided drug design and mushroom cultivation. The highlights of the department are well-equipped laboratories, ideal research environment, remarkable placements, industrial and educational visits regularly it takes gold medal and university ranks and 100% results.
The faculties of the department are Dr. K. Narayanaswamy, Associate Professor and Head. He has got 22 years of teaching experience. He is guiding a PhD scholar. His area of specialization, cancer biology and medicinal plants. Dr. N. Nirmala Devi, Associate Professor. She is having 15 years of teaching experience. She is guiding a PhD scholar. Her area of specialization, plant biochemistry. Dr. Radhi M.A., Assistant Professor, having 9 years of teaching experience. She is guiding a PhD scholar. Her area of specialization, cancer biology and medicinal plants. Dr. N. Sudarmani Gayatri, Assistant Professor, having 4 years of teaching experience and the area of specialization, clinical toxicology and plant therapeutics. Mr. S. Vinu Chakravarti, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. He is having 10 years of teaching experience and his area of specialization, organic chemistry. Miss Ashley George, Assistant Professor. She is having 2 years of experience. Her area of specialization, cancer biology. 7 days alumni webinar series 16th to 22 June 2020, organized by the Department of Biochemistry, Sri Narayana Guru College, Coimbatore. Day 1, 16th June 2020, lecture on career enhancement in life sciences and beyond.
The resource person of the day 1, Mr. P. Rajashekar, Field Marketing Manager, German-based Merck Life Sciences Private Limited, Asia Pacific, that is APAC. This is my responsibility to welcome the resource person, and this is that one of the alumni of our department, Mr. P. Rajashekar, 2001 batch. I still remember he was the chairman of BBC Association, and during that time only, they initiated an intercollegiate platform Pulse program. So still I remember. So these are all very wonderful. Beautiful and remembering things. So on behalf of everyone, I would like to welcome Mr. P. Rajashekar, Field Marketing Manager, German-based Merck Life Science Private Limited, Asia Pacific. So I welcome you, Rajashekar, on behalf of everyone who have joined here. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
He is going to talk career enhancement in life sciences and beyond today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So today we do on career enhancement in life science and beyond. So thanks very much, sir, for the kind introduction. I'm humbled. And also to all the teaching and non-teaching staff. So you have taken us back to the memories of 2001 to 2004, where we were kids at that time, and we were trying to learn the integrities of the industry and also the biochemistry as well. And it's a proud moment that we started our first inter-college fest, Pulse, and I was being asked to take up the position of the chairperson there, and that's actually one of my first position that I held to lead people and also to understand what leadership and what career enhancement is all about. So let's start onto our session. The first question that we need to ask ourselves is, what do you want? Do you want a career or do you want a job? So there is a difference between a career and a job. So when you start talking to your friends, your family, your relatives, your college students, your seniors, your juniors, they will give you a lot of ideas. They will say, okay, the X person was successful because he went into R&D. He's a postdoc. He's in Germany. Somebody will say, don't do that. Go into an IT or into a banking or into somebody else. He's successful. He's having a Mercedes Benz. He's having a BMW and so on and so forth, because all are materialistic things. So first, an important question that we need to ask ourselves is, do you want a career or a job? So to understand, do you want a career or a job, you need to understand what are the details to that. So let's understand what is a career first, because our topic of interest is career. So what is a career? A career is something that I am good at doing. Say suppose if you are good at doing something, good at doing a presentation, good at doing a teamwork, good at doing a collaborative work, good at doing interpersonal skills, good at market something, or good at negotiation. So whatever it can be any skill that you have. Just look at what am I good at. Write down in a piece of paper. Then look at what your family wants from you. Do they need a decent job? Do they really require money? Or what is that skill that is required? So what does the world need from me? Not only your family, your friends, your relatives, a lot of people around you, the surroundings around you. Look at what they want. Then look at the other side. What brings me joy? What's make you happy at the end of the day? When you go back and you're going to sleep, think out one point, one single line. What makes you happy and what brings me joy? Say, suppose if I'll tell you about a personal experience. If somebody asks me a question like, Rajshekar, we have an issue and can you solve this? I'm excited. I go, I solve, I try to understand. If not, I try to reach out to those people who are experts to that, understand, and then give back. So what gives me joy is troubleshooting or problem solving. So understand what gives you joy. Integrity of all those things, the epic point wherein which what am I good at, what my family wants from me, and what brings me joy. That should be your career. Let's understand what is job then. So there is a difference between a job and a career. Job is obviously a short term, low career growth. You don't have much career growth when you're anticipating a job. It's a bare minimum requirement that you should be graduate or a postgraduate or a PhD. You don't need a creativity, you don't need intelligence. You just need to do the job what is asked to do. What happens at the end of the day is when you're back home, you are frustrated, you are angry. Yeah, it may be driven by profit. You may say, okay, there's a good amount of money I get, my family is able to run because of that. I do a job 9 to 5 and I'm home. There is no creativity. There is no going beyond the call, nothing. You don't have the word which I'm going to mention, passion. So look at the career in the other context. Career is long term. There is a professional growth. Why? Because you love what you're going to do. You are done on and off the clock. It's driven by passion. You are happy at the end of the day. You are satisfied when you come home. So the difference between a job and a career is, in a career, you have passion. In a job, you don't have passion. So remember this word, this sentence. Passion is the difference between having a career or having a job. So be very careful when what you want to choose. You want a career or you want a job. So if it's your passion, understand your passion. Try to understand what is your passion, what is your skill. And please remember that there may be many people who comes to me and say, Cheta, brother, I don't have all this. I just need to do a job. No, every single person has a passion. You identify your passion. If you are not able to identify, ask your loved ones, ask your parents, ask your friends, ask your family, ask your well-wishers, ask your community, ask your teachers, ask your professors. They will tell you. If not, try to understand from yourself. There are a lot of skill development things that you can go and search and then find out what you are good at. If you find out the passion, I'm 100% right where I'll say that you will be successful. Let's understand the journey of career development. Try to understand in your career development, it's a strategic development. It's a strategic journey. Strategy is something that being used by every single person in a conversation. But I'm going to give you the integrities, details of what is strategy. So I'll take a couple of minutes to go through the slide. If you're not understanding, please get in touch with me. Because of the time, I may not be able to elaborate you the entire strategic journey. The first and foremost thing, the strategic journey is where you stand today and where you want to reach tomorrow or day after. In 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, where you want to see yourself. So for that, you should have a mission. What is your mission? The fundamental purpose and the value, the why. The why you want to take up that job. Is it money? Is it the passion? Or it's a skill that you have? What are the objectives? The objectives can be anything. I want to buy a house. I want to buy a car. I want to get married. I want to have a family. Whatever. It can be any specific target that you put forward. I want to have a home in London. I want to have a home in UK. Whatever. It can be any specific objective that you look forward for. For that, you have to have a strategy. So what is a strategy? You have a mission, you have an objective, what you want, and you have a strategy. So what is a strategy? A strategy is an integrated externally oriented concept of how we will achieve our objectives. If you want to achieve an objective, you want to have a strategic journey or a strategic thinking. Very important. I'll tell you in a very simple way. Say suppose you are standing in Palakkad bus station or a bus depot and you want to reach Coimbatore. How will you go? What route will you take? Do you hire a taxi? Do you hire a private vehicle? You take up your bike and drive, maybe a KTM, or you take a public transport. It's up to you. So the journey that you take, that's important, and where you want to reach, at what time you want to reach. And another very important thing. Then it becomes the tactics. What tactics you will use on the way. Will you use a highway or will you use other different ways to reach Coimbatore? And tactics. Execution. Execution is important. Once you have that vehicle decided and the tactics decided, you should execute. You should put forward to that. You should anticipate yourself that there can be deviations. If there is a deviation, what is the next alternative path that you can take? Obviously, you need to understand when you have a strategy in place, there are supporting arrangements. There are external factors that, say, suppose you are driving a KTM and there is a very heavy rain. You are not able to travel more than 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. So you have to slow down or you have to deviate your route. You have to stop for somewhere. Assess the market. Say COVID-19 situation, there is no jobs outside. So it's a temporary pause. Are you able to take up that pause? Obviously, understand the supporting arrangement as well, which is your family. Next and most important thing is the 5 strategic pillars. So once you understand the journey where you want to go from where you start and where you reach, there are 5 strategic pillars which are very important. It may be little heavy for you, but I'll try to put it in a very simple way. Something known as arenas. What is arenas? Where you will be active. Whether I want to go, you are a BSc student or a MSc student or a postgraduate student. You wanted to be in pharmaceutical industry. You wanted to be in food and beverage, or you wanted to go diagnostics. Which area you want to work with? Arenas. Vehicle. How will I reach there? Will I take a PhD and go? Will I do a master's and go? Oh, I don't want all these things. Let me take an MBA and then go. It's your choice. Differentiators. How can I win? What makes me different? What is my skill set? The first point I told you. What is your skill set? What is your passion? Next important, staging. What can be the speed? How fast I can reach? What is the sequence? How fast I can reach? After my post-graduation, I want to get into the industry immediately. After 2 or 3 years spending in academics, maybe a MPhil, maybe a college, going to serving your own college, our own college as a lecturer, why not? You understand the subject really well and then get into the industry. By the time you also understand the, how the, industry works, what are the things and so on. What is the sequence? The sequence is again important. So on the speed side, you may join immediately, you may join after 2 years, you may join after 3 years, you may join after 5 years. So what is the speed at which you will join the industry? If industry is going to be your prerogative, if it's going to be your objective, or if it's going to be a PhD or a postdoc abroad, please do that. So it depends upon your passion, what you want to do that. Second is the sequence. How will I do? After PG, I'll do a MPhil, I'll do a PhD, I'll do a postdoc, and then get into the industry. Why not? You are welcome. You can. There are a lot of my colleagues who have done postdoc in US and Korea and Europe, and they have joined our organization, Merck. I have friends inside Merck and outside Merck, and any other company you say it. It's Agilent, it's Waters, Thermo Fisher, whatever. So a lot of people do postdoc and then they join. Another important thing is economic logic. How can we obtain our returns? That's very important. So it depends upon the sequence and depends upon the speed, you get the money, you get in the remunerations. If you immediately passed out your post-graduation and you get into a job, you get low pay and you slowly thrive to get into the upper position. Maybe so you join as an executive, senior executive, or an officer, executive, senior executive, assistant manager, manager, and so on. If you are already have a PhD and you have a good amount of exposure, why not? People will take you as a senior executive, or people may take you as an assistant manager if you are a postdoc. So it's depend upon what is your education level. Reality check. Again, the question is important. What are you today? Graduate, postgraduate? You're an MPhil or a PhD student? What is your experience? Is it 0 experience to less than or greater than 5 years experience? Very important thing. What is your experience level and where are you today? You can do a analysis on your strength. You can ask, again, as I told you, you can ask your friends, family, your professors, what is my strength? Or you can analyze your own strength. It can be positive, it can be negative, it can be your weaknesses also. So there is a certain weakness that my family told me, that you become angry very fast. Work on your anger management. So I started working on my anger management. Where you want to be tomorrow? Academics or industry? Academics, obviously, as I told you, take a BTech, B.Ed or an M.Ed after your MSc, or you want to do a PhD and then get into coaching. Whatever it's possible, please do that. Whatever you do that, be very sure that don't aim for low. Low aim is a crime. Don't fear failure. Not failure, but low aim is the crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. Failures happens, and you need to understand more than success how to deal with failures. Resilience. To be on a very good note, you put the word resilience. After a failure, how will you recoup yourself? It can be a personal loss, it can be a job loss, it can be a failure in an experiment, whatever happens. Be sure how you recoup the next day. It's all recouping happens when you have resilience and you have passion to do the job. Fail 5 times and the 6th day you say, yes, I can do it and I will be doing it. That's what resilience is. Think the way forward. If you are a graduate, think whether it's a passion which drives you to do an MBA to get into the industry. It's a post-graduation and then an MBA. With or without an MBA, you can get into the industry. If you have a PhD, if you have a passion for science and management, please do a PhD. If you have passionate, only a passionate person should do a PhD. If you are able to do a PhD, please get into the industry and try to revolve around something which is important for the mankind. Postdoc. If you really want to do a passionate for science and to find out something, please do a postdoc. Don't stop yourself in a post-graduation. Do go beyond what is being called for. And obviously, if you want to do a master's in administration, obviously you're welcome to do a business administration. Please go for a MAT or a CAT and get into a very premium institute for 2 years or at least for 1 year to do your MBA and get into the industry. So that's what I told you. Every time when you want, it cannot be having a one rule. Strategy or the planning, it's never written in a rock. It's an agile paper. Every time you strike it off, write something. Strike it off, write something. After 2 years, you will understand, no, I don't have a passion for science. It was a wrong call. Let me do it something. I want to go into management. Please go into that. If you want to go into quality control, quality management, please do that. If you want to go into finance, there are a lot of people who have done BSc biochemistry, BSc microbiology and biotechnology, and then realize, no, we don't want to do that. I want to do for civil service. I want to do engineering. It's not possible, but they thought about it. Some people even thought, I wanted to get into IPS or IAS administration. Why not? Please try your luck, work hard for that and get it. So it's very important what you wanted to become. Let's look into the industry outlook. Very important thing again. So there are broader divisions that I have divided into. One is pharmaceutical, food and beverage, and then the diagnostics. On the pharma side, on the pharmaceutical side, once you have done a BSc or MSc, please try get into good at manufacturing. Quality management consists of, say there are 3 things in quality management: validations, quality assurance, and quality control. There is again a subdivision, whether it is analytical and microbiology. R&D, without a PhD, you can get into an R&D organization and then work for the organization. Sales and marketing, clinical research, and life science. In life science, again, it comes into genomics and then what you call as proteomics. In food and beverage, again, as I told you, quality management, sales, marketing, R&D, it's possible. I may doubt there may be some cases you may not be getting into manufacturing, as there is food technology, which is very important. Food technologists and food science as the people who normally get into the manufacturing of food and beverages. Nevertheless, you can also get into diagnostics. In diagnostic, obviously, quality management is a very interesting field. You can get in touch with the real-time patients. Sales, marketing, obviously there is an option. R&D, clinical labs. If you are a pathologist or if you want to get into IVF, there are a lot of my batchmates who personally done IVF training in universities and are working in clinical labs as IVF technologists and consultants. Just to summarize, the three takeaways you need to remember when you want to achieve and enhance in your career. Show gratitude. What do you mean by showing gratitude? Understand what you have today and be grateful to that. Many religions tell that when you wake up in the morning, pray. Yes, it's a way of showing the gratitude. You show gratitude to your parents, your family, your friends, that what you are today, it's because of them, and let's give you the courage to go ahead. Follow, second most important, follow 5R rule. What is 5R rule? Most of the entrepreneurs, including Alibaba, politicians like Obama, they all follow 5R rule. What do you mean by 5R rule? Is read 5 hours, maybe in a single day or in a week's time. Every day 1 hour you need to learn either your skill that you want to develop, a personal development, or the subject that you are following. Anything that you need to understand. So that's called deliberate learning. What do you mean by deliberate learning? I am not good at negotiations. I am not good at interpersonal skills. I am not good at teamwork. I am not good at leadership. What you are not good at, when you do a feedback from your family, your friends, your professors, or when you are working, if you are working from your colleagues, you will understand that you are not good at something. Try to improve that. Try to put your efforts to make sure that you are able to understand that and show that you are good at doing that. There may be people, there is one person in my team who can't remember the client's name, the customer's name. I work in a sales and marketing organization. What he do is that he has a diary, a pocket diary. He has the name and number of each and every customers that he is meeting. So if you ask him, say his name is Arun. Arun, do you know who is in Gujarat? He takes up the diary, goes to Gujarat in a folder and say, yes, Rajshekhar, I remember, this is the person. So it's all about whether you know network. This is my family. I did my post-graduation in 2004 to 2006 from Bharatiya University in biotechnology, then moved into quality management system and then into management side. And I work in Merck Life Sciences in a German MNC. So thank you very much for your participation, for your patient listening, and thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much. I'm done, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajshekhar. Thank you all the participants. Thank you all for the wonderful moment.
Any questions? You can connect with me. Thank you.
So at this occasion, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. M. Ilangovan. See that he was the former HOD of this department. So the entire credit for the establishment of this department of biochemistry, as well as the the activities of the BBC, that is Budding Biochemist Association, goes to Dr. M. Ilangovan, the former HOD. He took a lot of efforts for establishing this department during these 25 years. During these 25 years, so many staff members have contributed their valuable time for the development of this department. This is the right occasion to remember them. So I just named them one by one. First one, former HOD of the department, Dr. M. Ilangovan, then Dr. Chandraprabha, then Dr. Balamani Madam, then Dr. Hemalata, Dr. Sita Lakshmi, Dr. Nasima Madam, Dr. Nitya, Then again, other group of people came, like Dr. Dhanarangesh Kumar, Dr. Vidya, then Sruthi, Mrs. Sruthi, that is one of the alumni of our department. Presently, you see that the staff members who are doing the service here, myself and then Dr. N. Nirmala Devi, then Dr. Radhi MEA, Dr. Sudarmani Gayatri, then Ashley George, again one of the alumni of our department. Then we have one more person, Mr. Vinu Chakravarti, the chemistry professor of the department. Then the very important person and a very valuable, is that pillar of the Department of Biochemistry, see that Mr. T.T.V. Haridasan, still he is there in the department members. So then the two more person I want to mention here. One is Mr. Govindaraj, the lab attender, he worked here. Then at present Mr. Palnichami is there. So so this is a proud moment for me to introduce all them, because they have put their lot of see that valuable time for the, and see that I'm very proud to say announce all these valuable persons for the for their valuable contribution to the development of the department, which has achieved up to this 25th. The service.